Hey, welcome back to the Moose Shop. So my son called me the other day and said, Dad, can you make me some wooden gymnastic rings? I go, yeah, I think so. Give it a shot. Sounds like a fun little project. So he sent me some dimensions. And at first you think, a wooden ring, no big deal. But then if you start thinking about it, you got to make sure that they come out the right dimensions. You got to make sure that the inner diameter and the outer diameter is concentric to each other. But yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do to cut out the outer diameter. It's the inner one that I'm puzzled a little bit about. But I have like a couple options to go with. So stick around. Let's see which way this works and what works out best. And maybe you make them yourself one day. Okay, so these gymnastic rings, they come in various sizes, all depending on if they're made out of metal, made out of wood, if they're for exercise or they're for the official Olympic rings. But this is the size we came up with: 9 1/4 on the outside, 6 3/4 on the inside, and 1 1/4 inch thick. So first thing we'll do is we'll glue these two pieces together, which is 3/4 and a 1/2 inch piece of Baltic Birch plywood. That will get us up to 1 1/4 inch thick. So let's glue these together, maybe cut them down a little bit smaller size, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so that glued up nicely. And now let's cut this in half. Alright, so our pieces are all squared up. And next we need to do is find center. The outer diameter of what we want is 9 1/4. So we need to do half of that. So half of 9 1/4 is 4 5/8. We take it to the tooth here, and I have a line that's straight from the backboard, parallel. So let's mark a 4 5/8. Let's go there. Sorry. Alright, so the outer diameters turned out really good on the table saw. Now we got to concentrate on the inner. So there's a bunch of ways of doing this. You could either like drill a hole and use a jigsaw. And there's probably other ways of doing this. I tried a test piece on the lathe, and it was just doling my tools really quickly, going through all these layers and all that glue. So I didn't care for that. So what I came up with is a circle jig for the router. And what I'll do is I'll screw these down to this sacrificial base. That way they won't move. And we'll get this, it's already set up for the size I need. And I think this will be a lot safer and really accurate. The only problem is it's going to be loud and messy, which is okay. I'm fine with that. I'd rather have loud and messy than unsafe and not accurate. So, okay, so now I'm going to round off the edges, and I'm going to do it in maybe 2 passes, just a little bit at a time. So for the outside, I'm going to have to turn it going into the blade this way. And then when I get to the inside, I'm going to have to go this way. All right, so they turned out really nice coming out the router. Need a lot of sanding though, get them nice and smooth. But one of them here has got a nice void in it, which is no problem with filling it up with a little bit of Starbond. I'm gonna use this black medium thick. What it is, it actually goes all the way through. So I'm gonna dam up the bottom side of it with some of this tape, and then we'll fill up with the Starbond black, and then it'd be easy to sand and fill it up real nice. All right, so the Starbond is all cured and looking good. Filled up the old gap. So now it's going to be a bunch of sanding. And then use them like that. All right, then we'll put them in the lathe and go, or not the lathe, put them in a clamp. Alright, so these turned out pretty good. I ended up making 4 of them because 2 of them were like test pieces on how to, which way to go about doing it. The outer diameter was a simple one, but the inner diameter was a little bit tricky. But once I got the router and the circle jig for it, it ended up being just right because you're going off the same center point, so it made it just a perfect, nice circle in the size that you wanted. So yeah, so this is the way it works. You could do all kinds of exercises, hard exercises. They're really tough to do. But what are you doing?
I was going to do a little workout.
I'm shooting here.
What do you mean?
No. Oh, come on, you're going to hurt yourself. What? Come on. Oh my God.
Really?
I'm going to turn this off. Well, thanks for watching. I hope I see you soon.
Ah.